Yeah. All
W.
good.
Finley. All right. Okay. Okay, Bryce, we're ready.
How much detail do you want me to go into here?
However
Like
much you
just
want to, but try to not
however
go
much?
for like half an hour. Like I say, 10 to 15 minutes max.
10 to 15 minutes.
Or if
Okay,
that's too long, then no, that's fine as well. Less than
okay.
that.
Okay. I'll try. So here, cover page, it's just an image of the skyline of Vancouver, just to kind of show where I'm from. And yeah. So next page here, just my works, it's ordered in most recent to my oldest stuff. So I'm a second year at the University of Bath. And this was my very first project of my second year in architecture. So we actually worked on this for the entire second year. So I'm only like 3 months, but this was our entire second year project, and it's a primary school located near the University of Bath, and it was designed to have 6 different classrooms. So it was actually a combination between all of our different courses, so environmental engineering, detail design, and we kind of had to implement all those principles into this project. So these renders and these images I did using SketchUp and V-Ray, and then some Photoshop with all the people and stuff. So yeah. And then with this project, I wanted to have these 2 kind of destinations on either side of the school. So there's this circular kind of library here, and then this big hall. So the hall is kind of positioned, it's a more public space. It can be accessed by the community. And then the library is a bit more private, a bit more closed off, and it kind of acts as like a destination for the students in the school. And that's like a little image of a floor model that I did, kind of exploring the 2 different sides of the school, the library and then the hall. Here's a floor plan. This is also done using SketchUp and then Illustrator for all the extra details. But here you have your hall, then you have a bit of a kitchen space that serves the hall, and that's connected to the more public side of the school. You have your entrance here. Directly across from your entrance, you have your reception, your washrooms, your access. And in the middle here, it's kind of your more public space. So there's kind of group meeting spaces, there's benches, public spaces, private study pods, and that kind of directs you all the way to this circular library here. And that kind of acts as like the destination for the students in the school. And here with our classrooms, you have this divided space in the middle. So you have your storage and your washrooms that provide service for both sides of the classroom. And on the south-facing facade, you have these window slats that block that light and daylighting. So yeah, that's the floor plan there. Moving on, this is a section of the entire school. You have your hall here, your middle space, and then your library. The library is quite unique. It has this kind of double height space, so kids can climb up the spiral staircase and then sit on the top here. And there's actually a netting on the top where kids can kind of sit and read their books, and it's like a secondary space where kids can feel more comfortable. And then here's our classroom here. It's double height for ventilation and natural sunlight. And then with all your window slats and acoustic paneling on the ceiling, and your little corners, private kind of sitting space, and then you have your hall here. This is kind of more diagrams showing the form and the site analysis. So that's kind of how I created the form, providing those 2 destinations, and then kind of site analysis describing the circulation around the site, the lighting, the transit access, and yeah. So this was a detail kind of section of the entire of the wall. So I've made it a passive house construction, so researching like passive house design techniques, passive house insulation, and part of our environmental coursework was to kind of calculate all the U values for each respective element and then combine it together to create this this full model of the wall. So it's a stone facade with a timber frame, and then it's has these louvers there that block the south light, so that really helps with daylighting. Do you want me to just continue, or do you want to say something like in response to each slide, or how do you want me to do
Should
this?
we is this the end of this project? Because we could say stuff about each project rather than like...
I say we go through the whole thing.
Really?
Because like Yeah, Bryce.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we can go through the whole thing and then we go to
And then we go back through it.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, fair. Let's do that.
Okay.
Second project here, it's a house. This was a first year project, so end of first year, and this was a house built for kind of a boat builder on this like remote island with this perimeter wall that we had to keep. So that's why there's this big ugly brown wall there. And you chose a house based on which artisan you wanted to make it for, and I wanted to do a boat builder, so that's what I wanted to do. And this is a full kind of 1:50 scale size model that has this concrete base, and then you can actually open up each roof and then look inside and check out all the little details for both floors. That's just the elevation of the house. Now the form is kind of inspired by the shape of a boat, so you have kind of this curved upper floor, and the challenge with that was providing circulation and keeping the two separate spaces. So these are some concept models kind of working with how to deal with this curved form and bringing it all the way down to the bottom floor. That was quite a challenge on this project. So I have this dividing staircase that goes in the middle here that divides the two spaces. You have this kind of open concept living dining situation here. You have your storage along the entranceway. Then you have your washroom there with a little office. Then you come up the second stair and you have your two bedrooms with your washrooms and walk-in closets along that side with this double height opening across this hallway here. So, oh, sorry, I skipped a few pages there. And this is kind of the workshop space for the boat builder. It's completely separate from the rest of the house for noise. And then the inside has these slats that emulate kind of the interior of a boat with all the wooden slats. This is a detail section where it shows all those wooden supports for the boat building, and then all the details for each part of the house. So this was another project from first year where we created a full-scale size of a children's playground structure, and our animal that we actually received for the structure was a lobster. So we had to create this playground structure that emulated a lobster of all things. So it's made out of plywood, built to a full scale. A child can actually sit here and rock and play with it. And these interlocking slats are trying to show the different pieces of lobster, and then the curved sides, and then the canvas in the middle, so kids can sit and feel comfortable in this lobster-shaped chair. These are some form models, just trying to figure out how many panels to cut, the dimensions, the sizing, and then it's all attached with these ropes here to the canvas. So that was a key part of the design. This was kind of a more personal project. It's a market stall with these two triangular covers, and then you have these two little market stalls. And this was a project I actually did before university, so I used it for some portfolios and stuff. But yeah, these are some renders that I've done of the market. And then the fifth project here in the portfolio is titled Witness. So we had to create like a cabinetto structure for a specific photographer. My photographer was Elliot Irwin, so showcasing and highlighting his works was important. And he was a New York-based kind of street photographer, so it's designed to show his work and then also show what New York is like. So there's these two sides to show the two sides of the New York skyline, and then similar to the photo, the photo kind of creates this feeling of loneliness and perspective, and the building really tries to draw you in to create that same feeling. And these are some just drawings, hand drawings of what it was going to be like, and then some models showing the actual structure. Some hand-drawn sections, and that's actually the image of the photograph itself. So I'm trying to follow the same form of the photograph and create that same feeling that you get when you look at it, basically in the building. Some hand-drawn sketches, and then we have some renders that I've done in my own time, just of homes and kind of conceptual forms and buildings. These are all done using V-Ray and then SketchUp. And then finally, some street photography. This is in Birmingham of all places. I can't even say that. I'm not from the UK, but here's some more photography that's done in Vancouver to show the homeless issues and draw highlights to that in the community. And then this was a handmade bowl that I did in woodworking. So kind of wanted to add that into the last bit of the portfolio just to show the different skills that I can do. And yeah, that's the portfolio. There we go.
Sorry, give me one second.
I think, are you muted or something? I can't
Yeah,
quite
sorry,
hear you.
someone was asking us a question. Cool, amazing. Thank you, Bryce. Can you go back to the woodwork?
Can you go back to the whole thing?
Wait, so what's the chronological order of things happening? Which project was first, your earliest project?
This was like, I would say this stuff is like the earliest. It goes from basically newest to oldest.
Oh, this was the oldest. Oh, okay, interesting. And then
I think that's a good way of ordering it, though.
Yeah, definitely. I just wasn't sure because you said that one was before school started. The really cool neon lights one, and I wasn't sure that you were doing. I was like, how is he doing all this stuff before school? So I just wanted to check if.
Yeah, this one was actually before university. Yeah, I had this class in school and I kind of just made this model.
So everything after this is also before school.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
I see. Yana, I'll let you take the lead here. She wants to talk. So
okay, I really, really like it. And for considering your second year and the work that you had in first year, it's amazing. And the attention to detail is amazing. I will say I really, really liked the pavilion that you did for the photographer for Erwin Ermit. Was that his name?
Yeah.
Erwin? Because I feel like that. Yeah, no, Elliot Erwitt. That was the name. Because I feel like that project had a lot of soul, and the way that you told the story of how you came up with the form, I wish you kept that same energy with the way that you tell your university projects as well. Because the way that you considered like the buildings, and also it reminded me a lot of how they did. Have you watched The Joker with Joaquin Phoenix?
I have not. No. No.
You should watch it. Basically,
it's pretty cool. It's film about society.
So, okay, so
you are a clown.
In the film, right? You have Joaquin Phoenix, who it's basically before he becomes a Joker, but as part of the set design for that film, they basically took New York and wanted to make it feel suffocating and lonely. And there aren't many steps in New York. But they would just take stairs and make it seem like he's constantly like going up these stairs. And the point I'm trying to get to is the fact that they would they would make the buildings seem much taller than they are. So there'd be very little sky in the film. So it felt like he wasn't seeing daylight, basically. But that whole technique that he was using, there's a really good video on YouTube about the way that they did the set design for that film. And it plays into the emotion of the film. And the way that I feel like as soon as you started explaining this pavilion, I could completely see your process. And I love how you have put in your developmental sketches into the portfolio, because you can see the thinking behind it and it makes it much more convincing as a design. Also, from your first project, if you go back up to the top, from the beginning, the library that you had in the school, if you keep going down one, that library, this reminds me a lot of the pavilion at the V&A of the Panopticon that Los Carpintieros did. And I would Google the Panopticon and read a little bit about it, because then you can start to implement architectural theory within your projects. Which is also really good. I will also say the text. ChatGPT does this thing with text where it always puts a dash and then 3 descriptive words after something. So whenever you have a dash, I don't think, I'm not saying you've used it, but I will say there's
Oh no,
much better.
I'll fully admit to it. I've definitely used ChatGPT here. And
But
you
I
called
will
me out
say-
on it perfectly.
Firing out the accusations
Sorry.
baseless.
Sorry, but I will say just the one giveaway that I can always tell is that it has a dash and then 3 descriptive adjectives, because that's just the way that
Where
it,
are you seeing that?
like where it says 2 key spaces dash this new library and the existing school dash distinct without several blah, blah, blah. Like you don't naturally use a dash when you're writing text.
Yeah, that's very true.
Okay,
Very
well
true.
don't, because you can have such nice connecting words and you don't need to use a dash. You can use something better. But I really love this project and I feel like
Until existence was fading. So,
It's like, oh fuck, I've had that in my whole portfolio.
I've been using the word talismanic for years and just completely misusing it.
Yeah, but that's
Every
just,
essay.
he's Scottish, we accept it. Also, I love the quality of these renders. They're very delicate and I feel like they'll come in useful in practice, but I feel like you still need to keep the same magic that you had in your personal projects within the projects that you do at uni, because you can tell that there's a lot more soul in those projects and a lot more story. Like if you present them in the same way that you told the story of the pavilion, I would be much more convinced. But this is gorgeous. Very cool. What else do I have? Also, in your text, yeah. If you keep going down, there's one simple thing that you can do to take off. Is he still here?
Yeah, no, I'm still here. Yeah.
Sorry.
Where should I go?
If there's one simple thing you can do in InDesign to take away hyphenates, and it just makes it a lot. I love the plans, by the way. If you go up as well. Yeah, these plans are lovely.
Site analysis before this stuff.
I would too. Yeah, I'd switch around the development of the plans and then the floor plan. I'd also put a north arrow in your floor plans and a scale always.
boring.
But I mean, it helps.
Yeah, it does.
Because then also, if the only reason I can tell that that's north, that this is north, is because you had the solar shading on the south side. And that was a really nice technical detail.
The people also look too big, I think, right? They don't fit through the doors, as I see in
Yeah, that's a good
5
point.
and 4.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
But for a second year, amazing.
yeah.
Honestly, you should be really proud. Keep
Thank you. Yeah, no,
cooking
I
and
do appreciate that.
what else did I say? I really, really loved the
Lobster?
yes. That was really cool.
Uh-huh.
That was really cool.
That was a school project? Oh no, that was your personal work, right?
No, this was a school project. This was like the very
Ah.
first project of university. So
That's amazing that this is your first project.
Wait, so it's a
we
group
got paired
project
up
or
with-
just a?
Yeah, it's a group project. We got paired up with engineering students, so they kind of helped us. Well, we built it together, and then a few architects designed it.
But see here in the text, sorry, I was reading whilst you were presenting as well, but you have like each participant, each, like you have hyphenates, you've hyphenated the end. If you literally just tick a box in properties, it will take away that hyphenation and it would just read better.
I actually did not know that. So yeah, that's super
So
helpful.
what you do is you go to the text style and then you click a expand arrow or some shit, and then you go to the paragraph style option. You click on the paragraph style, and then inside of there's a box you untick, and then that unhyphenates.
But it's so well presented. Like, I'm really, really impressed. And it's really simple, really clear. It's lovely.
The formatting's really nice.
Yeah.
It's really clean, you know? Like
Yeah.
you have project 3, which is not an important word, you just need to know it's project 3, and then you have the name of the project, which is the most important thing. You have the end thick, and then you have your text small. Not too much. I would make it slightly less, but it's not bad. This is like a pretty
Yeah,
good
it's
line.
really good. And like even the consistency within your portfolio is great.
Yeah.
With the
Full bleed.
text and everything.
Yeah, full bleed. When this shows the picture the best. I think this one is really nice.
And the photography of the models is lovely as well, especially your first year model. Really, really nicely photographed. I think the elevation lets you down for that model.
Which one is that?
For the first year project that you did, if you go up, no, back.
This one.
Oh, yeah.
This one. I think this lets you down.
For sure.
because I think like the texture, like you can clearly do so much better. Honestly, you could literally
it's
redo
like
this.
straight out of SketchUp,
You
to be
are?
fair.
My
So that-
fan
Yep.
You in a rush? Tired as fuck. Yeah, that's fair.
fins off.
All right.
Are you not going with
Finn, you
him?
got anything to say?
Um,
Finn is a bit of a goat. so-
W. I think it's good. Good renders for a second year, especially.
Yeah, very good renders for a second.
You know, sauce. Add sauce always. Also, L
Yeah.
SketchUp. But...
I'll sketch up. Yeah, as Jake says as well. Add sauce.
Bye.
later.
This is definitely
Um,
one that does not show. Like
Yeah,
it's
I
not
honestly
similar to the
would
rest of the portfolio.
take this,
Yeah.
take it out. Not to be like that, but
Yeah,
you're
might as
letting
well.
yourself down because you can do better. Unless you're going to redo it nicer, everything else you have is so much richer. And the models are so nice for this project. So the elevation I was surprised by. But it's really good for a first year. Even the plans, like the fact that you considered like the form of the boat and everything, like you've started to think it's very similar. There's a book, Robert Venturi talks a lot about symbolism and semiotics in architecture. And I think it would be really nice, especially when you go into third year, to start weaving in theory, like into your projects.
Mhm.
And the
Sure,
fact that
yeah.
you use like the form of the boat, there's this library in Qatar. Can we Google something?
Yeah.
Can we Google, firstly, the Panopticon by Los Carpinteros with an A.
Los
C-A-R.
Capos.
C-A-R.
C-A-R-P.
And E-N-T-D-I-E-E-R-O-S.
Jesus.
This one.
Okay, I'll just.
And this,
what
well,
the
this is a
picture?
pavilion.
Wait, I'll have to show them this.
What is the like original theory of the Panopticon? Where is it from?
Theory?
Yeah, of the prison.
Isn't it just a prison?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but who designed that prison?
We can find that out easily. I think.
I was talking about it the other day. They basically designed this pavilion, and it was inspired by a prison in which you are on the inside, and you can constantly see. You are looking outwards, so the guards are in the middle of the prison,
Oh yeah.
and they're looking outwards. But it's like the theory of the cat in the bag. Like if you have someone in the middle. I'm explaining it so poorly, but technically someone doesn't need to be there because you have this 360 view. But it is this thing. If we can Google it.
What, the prison, right?
Yeah.
The concept is to allow all prisoners of an institution to be observed by a single correctional officer.
But where did it come from? It was a guy who wrote about it.
Origin. Oh, Jeremy Bentham?
No, it wasn't him.
The founder of UCL.
Oh, it was Jeremy Bentham? Panopticon. Interesting. Okay. Anyway, it was like it's a lot of architects use it as part of their theory now. So I'd look into
Okay.
and the library design you've done, because I'm looking at something really similar this year. I'm doing this greenhouse, which is kind of like the Panopticon, but I did this painting inspired by it as well, and the way that they use like timber to design from what am I trying to say? I think it would be really nice if you like start to pepper theory within your projects too, because like
For
the
sure,
way you
yeah.
describe the story of the pavilion, keep that same energy is what I'm trying to say.
Look at this ball.